Quiet has the lead from Victory Gallop. Does Zorro go to the stick? Real Quiet right on that rail past the 16th pole. Keep hope alive for another Triple Crown winner.
How has this Triple Crown been different from the other ones that you've won the first two legs?
Well, I mean, every horse is totally different than the other ones. Pharoah's a little bit different. He's fast. I don't have to worry about him. He's not a need-to-lead type. He's quick enough to get in a position. Where Silver Charm, all his races were tough. He had Free House. He had Captain Bodget. Touch Gold joined there. They were just dog fights. Then in the Belmont, we had Free House moving with him and Touch Gold. You know, every race is going to be different, Real Quiet. You know, I watch his replays of my Belmont, and I still can't believe that Real Quiet got beat. And just listening to the call of the race of Real Quiet was probably the most. It was this awesome call and looked like he was home free, and that horse comes and gets him. And I knew last year, Art Sherman, when they were going to the gate, I told Jill, I bet you right now Art is saying, just get it over with. Let's get him in the gate. Let's run this thing. And that's the way you finally feel. When you've gone through all this, it's been it's been a super high, but main concern is just focus on the horse.
Is the Real Quiet one the toughest one still to look back and remember then, of the three?
Real Quiet was a horse that he needed company. He sort of made the lead. Kent actually rode a good race, but if that horse would have come to him a little bit earlier, he was in front before the wire and he was in front after the wire. You know, when you get beat a nose going a mile and a half, it wasn't our time, and hopefully maybe this is our time, maybe it's not, but we're going into it, hey, if it is, it is. If it's not, we know it's tough. I've seen so many good horses go in there and fail. Point Given, to me, that was the one that I really thought if I was going to do it, but he didn't win the first one. And going to the Belmont, I knew he was just going to trounce those horses, you know, so because he was tough, he was made for it. He was made for that kind of a grind, and I think Pharoah, you know, he might be made for it too. Silver Charm was made for it. Real Quiet was made for it. War Emblem was not made for it. He was way too light, couldn't handle it. You know, I'm hoping that American Pharoah is I think he could be made for it because he's got something special. You know, he's always showing us that he's just a cut above the good ones. We know he's the best horse in the race, but whether he can bring that energy the third time we don't know.
Is the Triple Crown the one thing that you crave most now, given the fact that you won the Breeders' Cup Classic last year?
No, I think it's a personal quest for me. You know, it's something that's missing. You know, the Breeders' Cup Classic was always missing, and hopefully the good Lord has been saving this for me. You know, letting me suffer a little bit, but winning the first two and then getting beat is a lot of suffering because, you know, to be in this position, that's why I appreciate it so much more. It's so difficult to win the Kentucky Derby. It's so hard, and you have to be lucky to have a horse like this fall into your lap to train. I think it's, you know, I believe in fate, and I think that if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I want to do it for the horse. The Triple Crown champions, the horses get credit with it, not the trainers or the jockeys. It's the horses.
It's American Pharoah in front, firing line. Dortmund is third, Frosted is fourth. Coming to the finish, American Pharoah and Victor Espinoza have won the Kentucky Derby!
How big of a plus is it for you and for Pharoah to have Victor Espinoza in this position again for a third time, knowing what it's like going through the paces with War Emblem and then last year with California Chrome?
At the end of the day, it's not whether it's Victor or anybody else. It's all on me to have him ready if he's not ready and he's a little tired, it doesn't matter. There's nothing Victor can do. I mean, that horse, if he doesn't feel that power, that engine underneath him, then he's going to have a problem with it. Like Silver Charm was prepared, Real Quiet was prepared. War Emblem, he just wasn't, I just couldn't prepare him, right? And so it was just, I was dealing with a horse that was just too light. And it was wearing on him. So I think that my experience going through all that, I feel sort of confident that he's going to, you know, so far what I've seen, he can bring it, but he still, you know, will need some racing luck.
Who of the possible horses that he could run up against scares you the most?
You know, Todd, you know, his horses are always prepared really well. I think Frosted, Kieran McLaughlin's horse, he's a horse that showed a lot of quality. I mean, those horses are the horses with the most quality that I've seen in the race.
It seems to always be brought up this time of the year, especially if a horse fails in completing the Triple Crown, as far as making changes, spreading these races out. Would you change the way that the Triple Crown is set up?
It's a good system. You know, I think that the better horses are getting in it, and I think it's changed in a way. You know, some guys don't like to run back 2 weeks later, just wait for the Belmont, and I don't blame them. You know, I didn't blame those guys not wanting to run against the Pharoah. You know, he's that good a horse where he was just, you know, he did scare some people off, but now they'll be ready for him. So it makes the race more interesting. You know, it's a big field, and it becomes a little bit of a, you know, spectacle. You know, it's TV and everybody's excited and all that, but it's going to be a great day. And the fans of New York, you know, they've been hoping that maybe this is the one, you know, and that's what makes the race so intriguing. How many times have we heard that? This is the one. So, and I know from my experience, every time I went to the Belmont, all the Jamaicans on the rail, they always told me, not today, Bob, not today. And Point Given, when I took him up there, they said, this is the one, Bob. You know, that's the only time. So hopefully the Jamaicans will give me the thumbs up.
Does that come right before the race?
Right before, when they're going out the paddock, they'll let me know. It's a lot of fun, though.